You said that you had a disagreement. You do not agree with Brian giving an ultimatum on if a woman wants a second date, having to fully commit to only going on dates with him. I will elaborate more on the show. Please do.
I don't agree with that because I feel like that there is a mix of who comes on this show. Mm-hmm. So me, I don't go on a lot of dates. Clearly, haven't in 10 months. So my dating with intention, first dates are just, I don't think they're real. I feel like they are a fallacy. They're fake. They're someone putting on their best behavior, showing all their best qualities, and whatever that means. I think that committing to someone before you actually, like, why would you commit to somebody that you just did a first interview with without seeing them in let's make that second date in a natural habitat, like around their friends and in a social environment. Now, people can say, that sounds like pressure. Why are we introducing to friends? No. And my opinion is when I'm around my friends or I see somebody in their environment, it kind of sees how things can click, whether it's friendships or, I mean, you're not going to go to the family, but in a social environment or some sort of setting where it's not somebody on their best behavior. Every single person is on their best behavior on a first date. And if they're not, then obviously there's bigger issues. But I just think that having that commitment kind of devalues commitment.
Well, I mean, there's varying degrees of commitment, right?
Do you see at all where I'm coming from with that?
Well, I mean, people can operate in different ways.
100%.
But my own personal standard is if you want a second date with me, it has to be a wrap on other dudes. That's it.
Are you saying a second date with you when it's being intimate, or that means that they cannot go, like, what if they plan a second date with you and they're out somewhere, whether it's a grocery store, a restaurant, or a bar, and they meet somebody else and they spark an interest. You guys are in a relationship. What if they exchange phone numbers? Is that still to you? Is that the same thing? Like, where is your boundary with that?
Well, sort of. I think the greater context for this is if I were to meet somebody off of if you met them off a dating app, for example. I actually don't think it's all that hard to date one person at a time.
I agree.
And this doesn't mean, obviously, you can date this person, and if it works out, great, or you go on 2, 3, 4 dates and it doesn't work out, then you can move on to somebody else. But if I were to go on a first date with a girl and I find out that she's got 3 other dates lined up with 3 other men, I lose interest immediately. Now, I think that that's kind of pretty common for a lot of people when they're dating. They're dating multiple people at the same time. Now, if a girl is sleeping with a guy and talking to me, that is 100% a deal breaker.
I agree.
A lot of women move like that. If they're sleeping with 1, maybe 2, maybe 3. Not interested at all. I don't even want to fuck you. I don't want to go on a date with you. I don't want to kiss you. I don't want anything to do with you if you're sexually involved with another man. Now, I take it a step further, though. I think that should be the baseline for men. If she's sexually involved with another man, it's a wrap. You don't deal with her at all. Some of these dudes say recreational use only. You can still fuck her. No, she doesn't get anything. Back to the streets she goes. Now, I take it a step further, though. I have higher expectations. If she's romantically involved with another man, this means even going on a date with another man, not interested. There are women out there who are properly single. It's rare-ish. There are women who are properly single, who are not involved with another guy, or who are not trying to go on 3 dates a week and they're kind of playing the field. There's women who are not on dating apps, so this is going to be much more common amongst women who are not on dating apps. You, for example, you said you've not 100%. Been on a date for how long?
Realistically, I haven't been on a date since my son's father.
Right. And you said you've been single for 10 months, though.
Yeah.
Right?
It's probably, I mean, we could give or take a little bit longer, but that's just.
But you haven't
the best
dated.
rough
You haven't been.
I haven't dated anyone. No.
Well, I mean, you yourself would be, in terms of how you're moving in the dating marketplace, you're properly single. You're
So
not
we're-
dating other
yes,
men.
yes, so
If I
we're-
were to ask you on a date, there's a fairly good
Okay,
likely.
fine, we can go, Brian.
No, okay.
I'm kidding. I'm just-
But if I were to ask you on a date, there's a fairly high confidence level on my part. It's likely that you're not going to have a date
Right.
3 days later, given that you haven't been dating for the past 10 months. So I think finding this actually isn't that rare, and I don't actually think for relationship and commitment-minded men that this is actually a massive ask. And you fall into this sort of category where I wouldn't anticipate you, if I went on a first date with you, given your lack of, I'm not saying this to insult you, but your
It's not
lack of
insulting. I fully
your lack.
support
I think
that
it's
I'm
good
not
actually.
dating.
Your lack of romantic prospects. Going into a date with you, I would not anticipate that like the day after you'd go on another date.
Right.
So I actually don't think it's unreasonable.
I think where I was coming from when I had wrote that, well, for one, the things that I would like disagree on would be just like the way that certain things were articulated and the way they came out when it came to it. So I felt like I just had to put like an answer.
Sure.
But I look at like,
Yeah.
Younger, and not all younger girls, but, everybody's in a different type of dating period. And when they hear that, I see like that's where, I would essentially say that disagreements are in a line. But something that ties in, kind of piggybacks on that is, when it comes to like paying for the date, me personally, I don't go on serial dates. I don't go jump around, I'm going to go on a date. If I'm going on a date with somebody, it's like they're special to me. I'm not meeting them off of a dating app. It's just not something I'm interested in doing. So I would definitely want the man to take me out on a proper date and paid. No, I don't need some elaborate, if you try to over impress, I'm so not impressed because I don't like it. I don't like it when people are over the top. Does that make sense?
Sure.
And I can go further into it if we want. If we're
Well,
ready for
yeah.
that
I mean,
topic.
I guess to just wrap up on the whole like this ultimatum I essentially give of. If you want to continue seeing me, if you want a second date, it has to be a wrap with other men, or there can't be other men in the picture. Yeah, probably a lot of women, that'll end up being an issue because they are involved with other men, whether they're sleeping with them or dating 3, 4, 5 men at the same time. They have a roster, whatever.
Do you
but I
tend
think
to
there's
attract them, like those kind of
Attract-
women?
I think I do actually. Wait, what?
Do you
Just
attract
asked
them?
if you attracted.
Wait, are you saying do I attract
Do
the
you
type of
feel like
women
you
that
tend
are
to date multiple?
No. I attract the type of women that don't do that. Is what I meant.
Okay.
Is what I'm meaning to
Okay.
say. So, typically, anyways. But I was on the dating apps for a long period, and when you're on the dating apps, typically the women on the dating apps, you're going to encounter this much more frequently because dating apps give them hundreds of options.
I've gone on it like a dating app, but it's not something I've like executed.
Yeah, so if you
before.
can find
Does that
women
make-
off dating apps, I think it's much more likely you'll encounter.
Yeah.
And assuming you don't meet them in like bars or nightclubs, you're much more likely to encounter women who are dating a little more intentionally that don't have like a million men in the picture.
Right.
Dating apps, you'll encounter this all the time. Like it's the woman who doesn't do this would be the exception to the rule. I remember I went on a date with like an average looking girl, and she told me she had just downloaded Hinge. I was like, she'd downloaded Hinge like a week prior. She'd already been on 3 dates. She tells me this on the date. She said she had 5 more dates lined up, and I instantly just lost all interest. I was just like, okay.
Do you think it takes away the value of your time with that person I do feel like it takes the value away from your time with that person.
Yeah, I'm just not,
saying that for
I'm
sure.
just not really interested at that point.
Yeah. Are you dating to marry?
I don't want to get married.
Oh, I forgot. Are you dating to have your long-term partner?
Yeah. I prefer long-term relationships. I'm not interested in like short-term casual sex or
Right.
sleeping with a girl once and never talking to her again. If I sleep with a girl, I want there to be continuity. I want to continue seeing her, and I do prefer long-term
What about you, Jake?
relationships.
What exactly is the question?
When you go on a date with a woman, do you think that that should be like their end game on going other dates or?
It depends on who she is, and generally with the type of girls that I date, it would be implied. But after the first one, I'd say unless they're like a virgin and they've held on to their purity and they're not going around sleeping with other guys and that sort of thing. But generally I'd say after the first or second date. But if they're a girl who's not sleeping around and they're just meeting guys,
right?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one because after the first or second date, it would be like you'd have that chat, but maybe I don't know. Yeah.
Do you think a lot of first dates sometimes is somebody just putting on their best self, and you can get deep, but only to a certain degree of like the core?
I wouldn't say so from my perspective, because generally I can weed out a lot of things on the first date and ask little leading questions, and you can see where it takes them, what they say, what their answer is.
Where'd your interview?
Yeah, you can vet. I mean, you can
And I
vet.
agree.
You can very
That's why I
subtly
don't
vet
like
girls.
dates.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't like dates because I'm like, shut up. Like, I know you're not, just knock it off. Like, and I think that I don't know, it's a lot of pressure going on a date. If you're dating intentionally. If you're dating to get a free meal or do something, elaborate and bougie that you can't afford to do on your own, well, then I guess you're going to get what you get. But I just, authenticity and someone being their true self is so far lost in a lot of ways, I feel, when it comes to
I have a
dating.
question for you guys specifically, because obviously, you're the only two men here, in regards to dating apps. Well, I mean, in like this space, I really, this is something that a man once told me, and I was absolutely floored by this conversation because I did not realize this was a thing. Do men randomly download dating apps and go through and just swipe on girls with no purpose or intention of having a conversation with them in
I
actuality?
think that's something that women do.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
Men probably do that, but women do that way more.
Women do that just for the attention. He likes me, he likes me, he likes me.
No, but I'm not saying like being selective. I'm saying just like ripping
I know
through
what she's saying.
and
What do you
just
mean?
like not even
looking
looking,
at 'em.
like not
yeah,
even
no, I've seen
looking,
that
like
done before.
not
Yeah.
specific. Like
I think generally ugly guys will do that.
who?
Oh, actually, like guys who like don't really get many matches, but or it could just be any guy who just wants to get as many matches as possible, gets Tinder Premium and just does.
But what
it
if
for
they
a
don't
whole
even
day.
get Tinder Premium and then they don't even
Well, you can
have a
only get a
conversation
certain
and
amount
then
of
just
matches.
delete the app as if it's like a game for them or something?
Oh, I haven't heard
Maybe
of that.
they're
no.
seeing.
I've heard of people.
Maybe they're looking to see.
I've heard of people doing it and getting matches, like just so they get quick matches,
Yeah.
but not talking to them.
Well, I think
Yeah.
part of it is probably because most women swipe no on most men. So like it's a waste for a guy to spend like 30 seconds to review the profile. Like the meta for the dudes is just swipe on everybody, and then of the matches you do get,
See who will respond
like
to
who
you.
likes you.
Yeah, because like women are the selective ones on the dating apps. Like they'll swipe no on most people and swipe on the ones they want, whereas men will swipe pretty much on everything. Otherwise, it's a waste of time for the men.
So is this basically like kind of playing Russian roulette? Just swipe through everybody and see who kind of like responds back to you, and then take
Yeah,
it
you
from
swipe
there?
on everybody, and then you sort. Then you can sort through the ones whether you message them or not. But I think this has an impact. Maybe it didn't used to, but it probably has an impact on the algorithm. If you're swiping on everybody, you're going to get deranked, and you're going to be shown to less women. I'm not familiar with the dating app algorithms anymore, but this was a strategy a long time ago. Men just swipe on everyone, but now it's probably changed a little bit. But it's just for pure simplicity. You swipe on everybody. You let the women be the selectors when it comes to matching. Then, from there on, you message who you want to message.
Right, but in most cases, aren't women the one that are initiating the conversation anyway? They're not usually the ones. Okay, so then how does that even work? Because even
Well,
if guys are swiping on them, then the woman has to see that and respond to it. But in most cases, even if a woman were to match with a man, she's not going to initiate that first conversation.
Well, I guess it depends on the dating app, but as far as I recall, the match occurs, and then it just sits there in the match queue, and then the woman could message first, but typically the man's going to
What
message
dating
first.
apps do you do, Brian?
I'm not
Or
on,
did.
I'm not on any dating apps right now, but I was on Tinder, Hinge, Bumble.
Why are you no longer on dating apps?
Well, I got funny story. I got banned on every single one of them because I was using it to procure guests for the show,
Oh, God.
which is not allowed. So, in the same way that like girls who are trying to promote their OnlyFans or Instagram, they'll usually get banned on the apps. I was essentially not using the dating app for its intended purpose.
But even
And so
though
I
you
got
went on
banned.
dates from their apps?
Oh yeah, I've been on dates from all the
Well,
apps.
they should
Yeah.
have taken that in consideration.
Well,
No.
they're pretty.
A rule's a rule. Sorry. There is no
they're
black and,
pretty-
there is no gray. It's black and
I don't
white.
think they investigate too much. They're just like, are they breaking the rule? Yes. Okay, ban.
Doesn't like is it Hinge or one of them, isn't there like a one where it's for like friends or like businesses or something?
Bumble gives you like a friends option if you want to do
Yeah,
like if
there's
you want
like-
to become just
there's
like friend.
friends
If girls
options
want to
too.
find girlfriends,
Yeah.
you can do
There's
a
a
friends
website,
option.
or there's a, like, it's styled like a dating app, but in the music industry, where it says, like, you swipe and you could get roles, or it's also, like,
Oh.
to find friends and stuff. They have it for everything, just like the swiping,
Neat.
because everyone's lazy nowadays. It's easy, just fucking.
Let's see.